Okay, can you all see my screen? Because it's slow. I can't even move my mouse. Okay, I'm gonna erase my drawings real quick. All right. Alrighty, so US30 training real quick. I'm still new to US30. Like, I just started trading live with it. I've been practicing and back testing it, and I just started trading live last week. So I just wanted to share with y'all how I've been banking off of US30. It's been phenomenal because even with such a small lot size like 0.01, you can still make $100 in 30 minutes. So how I started with US30, I believe, I started on the 4-hour time frame. I really just focused on this area here. Hold on, let me mute you now. All right. So yeah, I pretty much just focused on this. Okay, so my mouse. Okay, yeah, I pretty much just focused on this area here. I started off by drawing some support and resistance. So I did like this color. I drew an area right here. I did one here because of this here, and then I did it here because it came down here and then came here. And then I did another one because with US30, your zones, your areas don't have to be so big, because even if you can see from here to here, that's 1,000 pips. So you could just trade these small little zones. My computer is acting funny. And there, so here's some small areas of some small zones here. Yeah, you can move that up a little. So yeah, here's some little areas here. I drew my support and resistance here, and then I went down to the 1-hour time frame, and I started drawing trend lines. So last week it was this. This week it's this. Okay, so yep, here we go. Start with my trend lines. And we can even do a previous trade from back here, actually. So for last week, for example, you see there was sort of a downtrend here. So with that, I drew my my trend line. And what I used for this, for US30 to help me, was the MACD. So I implemented the bounce back strategy, pretty much what Christopher Terry has taught people of using the MACD. So with the MACD, if you guys watched all the bounce back films, and you all should know about how the MACD works. All we're waiting for is the crossing for the blue and the orange line to cross through the histogram to give us a full confirmation. So I drew my trend line on the 1-hour, support and resistance on the 4-hour, and then I go down to the 30-minute or even the 15-minute. It all just depends. So I use my trend line and my support and resistance as areas to help me determine where the market is going to go. So here, as the bounce back strategy says, is you draw your trend line. Once you have drawn your trend line, you're now waiting for full confirmation to see if you should buy or, well, for this one, you'd be buying. So for full confirmation, what you're waiting for is for, one, it to cross over this trend line to the upside, and second, for it to cross through the MACD. So this was actually, oh, this is what I caught today. Yeah, this morning. I actually got this. This morning, I got this to this right here. So this morning, when I woke up this morning, price was like right here. Was like right in this area. Price was right here. So for me to get the full confirmation and why I was able to get into the buy was because I saw that it broke this trend line here, and then it also went above the MACD. It crossed through the histogram. You see how it crossed through? So it crossed through a little bit right here. So I just waited. All I did was wait. But then I also dropped down to the 15-minute, because the 15-minute will tell you a little faster. So on the 15-minute, it had already crossed. So when I went down to the 15-minute and saw that it already crossed the histogram, I said, I'm getting in this, because that gives me my confirmation that it's going up. for the buy. So I got into the trade actually right here, and my take profit was set right here for 1,000 pips. And that was it. And that's how I've been trading US30, and it's with the MACD. And what I use my support and resistance lines to do is to help me to determine where my take profit would be. So because I drew the support and resistance line first on the 4 hour, I was able to say, okay, it already crossed the trend line and it crossed through the histogram right now. My take profit, I'm going to enter here. My take profit will be here. And then for me to enter into this one, I mean, for this as a take profit, I would want it to just come through up here, past here, and retest it a little bit, because it did retest here. So it came through, because that's what we're really waiting for also even more confirmation. And this is why you can be a successful trader with different strategies in different ways, because you could use the MACD as your confirmation. You could have used the break of this area and this retest here as your confirmation. It broke through, retested, so you could have gotten for your buy down here and bought it up to here. And also for me to get in again, which I was going to, was if it would have broke here, which it did, but it did not make a retest. So you could have waited for that, for it to break through, make a retest, and retest back here so that you can buy it up to this next area. So unmute yourself if you have questions.
That was beautiful, Kay. I'm so glad you bought that.
Thank you. Thank you.
Girl,
and
I'm about
then,
to be on this US30 with you.
Yeah, I'm not playing about US30 now.
Because it's so volatile. I mean, it moves so
volatile.
So
like
fast.
I literally will make $100 in 30 minutes and be like, done.
On a 0.01 or 0.02.
Exactly.
Line,
10 cents into dollars into hundreds.
Yes.
It's just that simple. And then on top of that, I think that the one thing people need to focus on and like practice on is just their trend line and support and resistance. Because once you mark your trend lines and have your support and resistance, it's so much easier for you to trade. And a lot of people are so worried about, when do I get in? When do I get in? When do I get in? And the MACD is really helpful to know when to get in, because you drew your trend line, you drew your support and resistance, it broke that trend line, and it crossed over on the MACD. I'm getting in. Like, I'm not even thinking twice. Like, just that simple. Christopher Terry and my favorite educator, Stevenson, is saying that this indicator is one of the most useful, because I'm not an indicator trader, neither is Stevenson. So when I saw him using this, I was like, oh, that's strange. But when I went back to watch the bounce back trainings, he said it is a very useful indicator compared to all the other ones, which is why I don't use indicators. But I've been using this MACD and been banging with it.
Girl, I'm about to go home and add the MACD on my trading view right now.
Yes. What else? I had another, I traded this yesterday too. I'm trying to find my entry from yesterday. Yesterday was the 28th, right? Oh, here was yesterday. Okay, so this is where I was yesterday. So I'm going to erase this. So today I banked from here. So I was able to buy from this area here, and then have my TP was here. So I was able to make my 1,000 pips there. Yesterday, I entered the market right here. So actually, Sunday, when the market opened, I looked at US30 when the market opened Sunday, and it was right here. So right here, if you were to, let me go on the hour so I can show y'all. Okay, yeah. So this is where the market was on Sunday. What was Sunday's date, y'all? The 27th. Okay, perfect. This is where the market was when the market opened on Sunday. So none of this was here. So let me show you how I was able to bank on Monday. I drew this trend line here because remember, you got to draw your trend line. I drew this trend line here because I could have even took this on Sunday, but I was like, you know what? I'm not even going to trade Sunday. But I could have took this Sunday because I had the confirmation. Oh, this was amazing. Imagine if I would have took it on Sunday, man. Okay, so anyways, I drew this trend line right here because it was an uptrend. So what I wanted to see was if it was going to break this trend. Remember, once it breaks the trend and then it crossovers on the MACD, that's your full confirmation to just get in for the sell. So I'm on the 15-minute now. And Sunday, all this was happening. On Sunday, when I looked at the market, I had this trend line already drawn before the market opened. And when I looked at it on the market, it already had crossed the MACD on the 15-minute. So I could have already entered because that was my full confirmation to say it already broke over the trend line and it crossed through this histogram on the MACD. So I could have gotten for the sell, but I waited till Monday. And when I woke up Monday, it was still below the MACD. So I got in for the sell. And as soon as I got in for the sell, y'all, I got in right here. Bam, 2,000 pips. And imagine if I would have traded this as soon as the market opened Sunday here. I could have just grabbed all these from here all the way down until Monday. And I cashed out literally at 8 p.m. Monday, and that was it. And for US30, it's really volatile in the morning from like 8 o'clock a.m. Eastern time to about 9:30 a.m. Eastern. So I trade between 8 and 9:30 and already close my trade before 10 o'clock even hits.
All right, Kate. Thanks so much for sharing that, girl. You are awesome.
But does that make sense, y'all?
Totally makes sense. Totally.
Yes, tons of sense.
Yeah.
So you enter on the 15.
I enter pretty much on the 15 or the 30 minute because when it comes to US30, I just want to look on the lower time frame. Like when it comes to entering, I think you guys might be over analyzing your entry on the lower time frame. It's more so about just when we say enter on the lower time frame, like 15 minutes, we're just analyzing it on that time frame to get a better entry. So I don't technically enter. I look at the 15-minute and the 30-minute time frame. So because the 30-minute and the 15-minute time frame really correlate fine with each other because it's not much of a difference. So I just look at both time frames, to be honest. I just looked at the 15 and the 30-minute at the same time. I just literally would click back and forth just to see what the MACD was. Because if the 15-minute, for example, this, you see how it went through here for this buy. This is what I caught this morning, this buy this morning. It had already went through on the 15-minute first. Because when I looked at it, when I looked at it this morning on the 30-minute, it was literally right here. So none of this had happened yet. It was literally right here. So it didn't fully cross through the histogram yet. So I went down on the 15-minute, and on the 15-minute, it already crossed. So when I looked on the 15-minute and saw that it already crossed, that was my full confirmation to say I can get in the sell because the 30-minute is going to be going up with it. But I wouldn't drop down to a 1-minute time frame or anything. That's just too low, and it'll be completely different. But the 15-minute and the 30-minute are really similar to each other because they're really close in time.
I missed the MACD thing, I think.
No, it's all bounce back. If you haven't tuned into any of the bounce back strategy things, then you wouldn't have learned any of it. Have you tuned in? Because you remember, was it you that wanted to get added into the bounce back group? Have you looked at that yet?
I'm in it, but I haven't. Man, I've been.
Oh, all the videos are in there. They have it actually unit formatted, and all you have to really do is watch one video because he goes over a lot of the same information on all his videos. So if you watch one video, it's fairly simple. It's 3 rules. Literally 3 rules. So once you got your support and resistance down, all you have to do is implement those 3 rules into your trading strategy and then have a set time to trade. Because when you try to put the rules together and then you don't have a set time to trade, it's just not going to work out because you really have to say, okay, I'm going to trade this day. Even if it's in your demo, like I'm trading at this time every single day so I know what I'm doing. So do you have a set time yet on when you trade? Do you have a set time yet, Davian?
I'm sorry. No, I turned the laptop on and your volume went from the phone to the laptop real quick, so I had to.
But
I was trying to scramble real quick to turn my volume back on.
Oh, it's all good.
Oh, okay. So where are you at? Okay, so I'm in the group, but I haven't had. I'm gonna go now that I'm home. I'm gonna go through and check out the video so I can learn about the MACD thing.
Back. Yeah. So the bounce back is what teaches you about the MACD. If you go to units.
Now on trade.
I'm sorry. What'd you say?
Okay. How do I even find US30?
How do you what?
How do I even find US30?
How do you sign?
Yeah, how do you find it?
Oh,
Like, what is?
if you go on your trading view, you'll be able to find it on your trading view. So US30 is very volatile. So I would suggest you master at least one pair in the foreign exchange markets first, because it moves extremely fast. So it'll make or break you in a second.
Okay.
And also, what else? Oh, does anybody have questions while I'm here? US30 about to change my entire life, y'all. Oh, me too. Can you make me a bowl? Was that regular? I'm sorry, I didn't notice what you were doing. Oh, I'll take that. Yeah. So, any questions, you guys?
Nope, I'm good.
Did you say something, Leilani? Wait, who was that?
Shannon.
Oh, okay, Shannon.
No, I'm good. Thank you.
Okay. Shannon, what was your question?
So I have problems making my support and resistance. Could you go over how you found that again? I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's fine. So when it comes to support and resistance, I think that's the hardest part for a lot of people because they get confused, but there's so many different areas of support and resistance, so there's really no right or wrong. What makes a valid support and resistance line is that there's multiple touches. So when I say multiple touches, let me show you. I didn't mean to remove all indicators. So I always like to mark my stuff up on the higher time frame so I could fully see what's going on. So I was able also, if you can't spot them out like this, you can always change your chart just like Abel recommends. I think that's a phenomenal way for newbies to that need help if they don't know how to mark up their charts. It's change it to a line chart. You see how it says candles? You can change it to a line chart here. And whenever you see bends in the market like this, that's a major area of support and resistance. So where price is currently at, which is this blue line, you can find a nice area because if you, and the goal and how you figure this out is always to look left. So where price is currently at is coming to this area of resistance. Here, there was one touch right here. Okay, computer, act up on me if you want to. Alrighty, y'all. All right, so there's an area right here where price came. Oh my goodness, computer, don't do this to me now. And then this is another area. And then this is another area here. But do you know why those are areas? Oh yeah, this whole area is just a...
Would it be because that's where it broke through?
It's because price came to this area multiple times and reversed. Because what the support and resistance lines are major areas of reversal. So for example, the market was going up, right? And as soon as it came here, it dropped, so it reversed. Now here, the market was going up. It came here and had a small drop. These are not like major areas. And then also here, the market was going down. And then when it came here, it decided to shoot up.
Okay.
So that's what reversal areas mean. Same here. It came here, created a pullback because it was going up and shot down.
Okay.
So that's what you're looking for. On US30, it's a little harder to see because there's a lot of wicks here. So I would probably have to show you on another pair. So that's what makes a valid support and resistance. The more touches that it has, the better it is, the better area. Look for multiple touches.
And would you do it on 4 hour or day?
Yeah, you can do it on any time frame. I use the higher time frame so I could see it better. Oh yeah, see, oh, this is awesome. This higher time frame, you could see everything. So even here, you can, oh dang, US30 looks like it's about to be going for a long sell real soon. Do you see why I said that it looks like it's going to be going for a long sell really soon?
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you look left, you see this is pretty much where price is currently at. If you look left if you all just keep going left, every time price got to this point, not every time, but multiple times. The goal is to have it multiple times. When price got to this line, this area, it reversed. So here we might see a reversal coming. It came here and it reversed. Came here and it reversed. Came to the line, reverse. Came to the line, reverse, reverse. So these are all areas where you get to see that when it touched this line, a major reversal happened. So now, since price is currently at this line, what are we expecting, y'all?
Big sell.
Yes.
Yep.
So that's what we're anticipating and expecting. So we cannot predict the market. So what we do is wait, y'all. We wait for price to make a move. So for me to get full confirmation that this thing really wants to sell, I would draw this trend line here and start implementing the MACD rule. Let me put my MACD back. I took it off. But when it comes to trading US30, you don't really have to look this much on a higher time frame because it's such a volatile pair. So you're gonna be in a lot of pullbacks and. So this is where you can start implementing the MACD. Hold on, let me mute somebody out.
Sorry, it's probably me.
Okay, so this is where I would implement the MACD rule. So what I would be waiting for is for price to, remember, break the, this is if you're swinging this, like holding this for a long time, but dang, this went up for a solid, this is nice, barely no drawdown. Oh my gosh, 30,000 pips in 26 days, y'all. Somebody just bought a whole car with US30. Sheesh, whew. Anyways, what you would do when it comes to the MACD, if you want to know for sure this full confirmation that it's going to sell, what are we looking for, y'all? Throw it at me now. What are we looking?
A break and retest and a crossover.
So you're waiting for it to break the trend line. So with the MACD, I don't even have to wait for a retest. You can, because waiting for a retest is the way to go for full confirmation, but the MACD helps me a lot, so I don't even worry too much. And plus, since US30 is so volatile, I can get in and out with a bag really quick. So I would wait for first for price to cross over this. When price crosses over this, you got to make sure that this has crossed over as well, meaning that it's going to come back down. If price crosses over the trend line, but you see the MACD line is still above, it's not valid yet, because it's still not a valid sell. We need price to cross, and then we need to see the MAC. When price starts moving more, a more MACD will form, but we need price to come back through the red histogram, pretty much. And that's where you get your full confirmation. You probably won't get a full confirmation until price is like down here. But with that, you can sell that thing all the way back down where it's still 21,000 pips, 20,000. Or you can sell it to the next area. You can go. The next area of support would be here. So I would probably sell it there. But if you're getting in down here, like way down here, then I'll just end up selling it this far. But what were you saying?
So I noticed that the spreads are pretty large.
Yeah, because it's a very volatile pair. So that's what it means. That's what I mean by very volatile, because with the spreads being very high, it will make or break you really fast, which is why I wouldn't suggest anybody trading indices or cryptocurrencies until they've mastered Forex.
Okay, so you would need a fairly sizable account to be able to get in.
I started the account with $400 to trade this, and like I said, were you guys heard me about that? The account was started with $400 Wednesday, and it's now at like 870 something, since it's been like 5 days. It's almost been a week, and not even, because the markets closed on the weekend. So that was just from trading from Wednesday, Thursday, I didn't even trade this pair Friday because I was on the plane. So the market was closed by the time I got off, and from yesterday and today. So that was 4 trading days of over $400. And any other questions?
Phenomenal, girl.
Any other questions?
That's nice. So, what exactly are you doing when you back test?
Okay, so when you back test, you're just checking to see support and resistance. It all depends on the strategy. So if you found a particular strategy, like for MACD, for example, I had to back test MACD to make sure it's real, meaning like when an educator tells you about a strategy, you don't want to just start trading off of it right away if you haven't back tested. So when I learned about the MACD strategy from the bounce back, okay, what happened? I had to back test it for a few days or even just that day just to see if it was real, if it really worked. So what I was looking for is for the 3 rules that he said, if every time those 3 rules played out, if it actually paid out the right way. So that's what back testing is. So the 3 rules that Stevenson had gave us was to draw the trend line, wait for it to cross the trend line, and wait for it to cross over the MACD. So that's all I would do. I would draw a trend line, for example, right here. And this is what back testing is. And you just back test it as much as you want. Like you just keep going back in time. So I would back test. I was like, okay, let me draw a trend line. Drew a trend line. This is on a high time frame, so I don't know how it's gonna work, but I drew a trend line here. He said, wait for it to cross over. Dang, this was a massive, massive, massive drop. Jeez, that would have sucked to have missed. But with this, it wouldn't have, you would have definitely had to go on a lower time frame for this so that you could fully see what's going on. Because you would have missed all that. Oops, darn it. What was I on the daily? Okay, let me just go to the 4 hour then. Okay, cool. So you see why I said you would have missed that? Because on the daily, it was literally just like one solid candle. On the 4 hour, it's 2 candles because it was the two candles. So yeah, so I drew my trend line here on the daily, and then I dropped down to the 4 hour. It crossed. As soon as it crossed this trend line here, I look on the MACD and it crossed on the MACD. I get in for my sell. And then I start back testing to see other areas and to see if it does the exact same thing. And that's what back testing is, to see if it actually worked. And if it worked, then you can start trading that in your demo. And if it works for you, then that's your strategy. And that's how you back test the strategy. Hold on, I don't know what just happened to my screen here. But yeah, a lot of people get confused. They're like, what is back testing? Back testing is simply just going back in time, drawing your support and resistance anywhere you see. I would always back test when I first started. I would just start drawing trend lines anywhere I saw a trend, drawing trend lines anywhere I saw a trend. And as soon as I started to keep drawing trend lines, every time I saw a trend, I just would keep going back. And that's what helped me started trading better. Drawing your trend lines. Doesn't matter where you see them. Just draw a trend line. Draw a trend line going up. Draw a trend line going down. Draw support and resistance. Draw support and resistance. I don't know what's going on here. Like, geez, so annoying. Okay, let me just refresh. Okay, let me go back to the daily. Okay. Oh, that's why. Oh, I got 10 minutes left. Okay, here it is. It was hidden from me. So that's what I call back testing. So then I would back test it another way. So you see how I was able to back test this going down? Now I'm going to back test this going up to see if I wanted to buy. So I'm going to draw this trend line here. So now I'm waiting to see, okay, when should I get in for my buy? I'm going to wait for it to cross this trend line and for the MACD to cross. So what I'm waiting for is, oh, not the 1 hour. I'm going to go to the 4 hour because I don't feel like extending my screen. Where did I draw that trend line? So you see here how it went through the trend line and it crossed on the MACD. That's where you get in for a buy. So this was me back testing all when I first heard about it, and I implemented the MACD strategy with US30. I was back testing it all day. I was just marking up where I saw a trend, seeing if it broke, crossed the MACD, and how profitable it was. And I was like, okay, I could do this. Not that hard. 13,000 pips, 8 days. You see this? That's why. Then I would go back again, go back to my daily. This is what back testing is. It's just going back on your charts and just really marking up charts, because if you don't spend time on your charts, you're never going to learn and to be a successful trader. The less time you're spending on your charts, the less successful you will be. You need to spend time on the charts, guys. Yes, watching IML TV is great, but you need to spend time on your charts, meaning that when you're watching IML TV, pause it. Mark up the chart exactly how the educator is marking it up, because you're still watching IML TV and spending time on your charts. So if you have a smart TV where you can go on YouTube, not YouTube, but even if you have a tablet, even your phone. Yes, if you have a phone and your computer, y'all, you can have your phone up watching IML TV. That's what I would always do. Have my phone up watching IML TV, pausing it and marking up my charts exactly how it is on my laptop or on my tablet. That's exactly how you have to do it, because you have to be watching IML TV and spending time on the chart, because if you're not spending time just marking up your charts, you're not going to succeed, y'all. And that's what it is. You have to spend the time just putting in the work. I back tested this for a whole day. I did it here again. Like, I just literally just drew my trend lines, looked at the MACD, see if it actually played through and crossed over, and went about my day. And that's what backtesting is. If somebody has another strategy, like there was the money line strategy, were you all here for the money line strategy when Jaleesa went over that? I backtested the money line strategy to see if it was really hitting every single time it would hit the money line. And obviously every single time, it's not going to fall through every single time, which is why it's important to backtest to see that you see that it's falling a good amount of times, meaning that you see that when it crosses over when it crosses over the trend line and crosses over a MACD, it is a good buy, and you can get a solid 1,000 pips. That's what you're looking for. Does that make sense? Also, when it comes to backtesting your support and resistance, you see how I drew this area of support here? I'm gonna go to an actual pair. I know NZD USD had a really good area of support the other day, or last week, maybe. Yeah, this wasn't that bad. Let me erase this. So if you're, oh yeah, where price is at right now, like, and this is why, because I've spent so much time on my chart when I first started, I can point these out with my eyes. Like where price is currently at, I'm looking at this like, this is a nice area, because all you have to do is plop your line on. And if you can see, once you look to the left, you see price came here, drop. Nothing here, keep going. Price came here, drop. Price came here, drop. And now you back test. Price came here, it went up. So these are reversal areas. Price came here, went up. It didn't break this line. And then you just back test, and this is back testing, seeing how many times. How many times is that? Already like 5. Price came to this line again, went up in reverse. Came close to the line, but not all the way. Still a good area, because these are really good areas. The amount of times it got touched, it touched here in reverse, touched here, reverse. This is a strong area right now. Touch here in reverse. The more touches that you're seeing where it reverse, this is not considered a touch in reverse because it just went through. So that's what we're not looking for. We're looking for these, where it comes to the line and reverses. It doesn't break through. So this wouldn't be considered a touch, but this is a very, very valid line because it already got touched 100 times. Does that make sense?
Yes, lots of sense.
Okay, great. And this is what backtesting is. So you're just going to keep backtesting. Keep going back in time. All you're doing is looking to the left. So that's what backtesting is just you're scrolling to the left. You see, you're still scrolling. Your line is not even there anymore. Still scrolling. Still scrolling.
You never know. You might just need it on the go.
Now your line's back. Bam, look, 2010, touched here again in reverse. Super strong area. And that's what back testing is, y'all. You're just looking for strong areas of support and resistance and trend line so that when you do mark up your charts, you'll know that, okay, the market has touched here 1,500 times in reverse. So maybe there's a possibility, since price is currently here, it may reverse. So price is currently at this line. So this is a major reversal area, which means price, you see how price is currently here? What do we think the market may possibly do, you guys?
Drop?
Yes, because it's a reversal area. Price came up to here, and it's a possibility it can drop.
It even kind of looks like an M, like it's starting to form an M.
So what I would do is probably only trade to this trend line. So if it does decide to drop, I would only be trading it to the trend line. 72 pips for NZD pairs, but that was just an example. So I go on the lower time frame. Perfect. Y'all see this? I went down, dropped down to the 4 hour, and I'm able to see this. It came here multiple times and came back down. So the market will most likely, and this is where you can start using the MACD to help you. And remember, even able, you trap price. So if I'm trapping price here, I'm trapping it to the T. Now, all I'm waiting for is to see if it's really going to sell and wait for the MACD to cross and get in for the sell. That is all, you guys.
I'm really liking this MACD crossover confirmation.
Oh, yes, that MACD crossover confirmation is bomb. I was like, oh, let me try this. Because I'm like, if Stevenson is, that's what made me try it. Because I'm like, if Stevenson is using it, who hates indicators, and if he said he learned it from the CEO who's been trading for longer than I've been alive, why would I not listen to him? And that's what you got to do. You got to listen to smart people, y'all. It's just that simple. We listen to the smart people here so we could be billionaires. But yeah, MACD,
I hear that.
MACD is awesome. So that's why you can back test the MACD with different pairs. You have a favorite pair or just any pair. You can start just drawing your support and resistance, draw your trend lines. And if you need to study more on how this strategy works, go back and watch the bounce back. He goes over a lot of times. He goes over the 3 rules, and you just listen to that until you get it. Oh, my boo made me cereal, and it's just been sitting here getting soggy. I forgot. But you guys, there's less than a minute left, so it might just cut off. But I hope I was able to help you guys. I just want to show you guys how I've been banking off the US30, and it's literally just with what Stevenson has been teaching.
Yes, it helped a lot. Thank you, Kay.
You're welcome, girl. But sorry, guys. I am going to go out of here. So bye. Thank you all for hopping on.
Bye. Have a good day.
Thank you. Bye, y'all. Oh, I didn't even check the chat. All right.